So, what if I told you that one of the biggest revolutions in modern data technology wasn't sparked by a genius in Silicon Valley, but by a kind of dry banking rule? It's a wild story. Let's dig in.
Okay, so you have to picture this. It's 2008. The global financial system is absolutely imploding, and regulators are frantically digging through the rubble trying to figure out what on earth just happened. And yeah, they found the usual suspects. But as they dug deeper, their investigation started to uncover this hidden villain, a quiet accomplice to all the chaos that had been flying completely under the radar. Now, this villain wasn't some complex financial instrument or a rogue CEO. No, it was a piece of software hiding in plain sight, sitting right there on millions of desktops across the entire industry. Yep, we're talking about the humble spreadsheet. I know, it sounds almost ridiculous, right? How could a simple spreadsheet be a menace? Well, it turns out that under the surface, it had created a foundation of just pure, unadulterated chaos. Now, there's a fancy term for this, of course. It's called end-user computing, or EUC. And all that really means is it's what happens when people who aren't programmers, like traders, analysts, start building mission-critical business tools, usually in Excel. And this created a nightmare. Just imagine trying to manage risk for a multi-billion-dollar bank when you've got dozens of different spreadsheets, all with slightly different numbers, and all of them claiming to be the truth. Critical make-or-break data was just living on people's personal desktops. There were no controls, no consistency, and it was unbelievably vulnerable to a single copy-paste error, a total mess. So after the crisis, regulators looked at this whole situation and basically said, nope, this is completely unsustainable. They decided it was time to declare an all-out war on this data chaos. And their weapon of choice in this war? It was a new mandate from the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, known simply as BCBS 239. And right at the very heart of this new rule was Principle 2. This was a direct assault on the world of spreadsheets. It demanded that all risk data had to be brought together or aggregated quickly, accurately, and consistently. The three things that are basically impossible in a world run by thousands of disconnected Excel files. This forced a massive, absolutely dramatic shift. The old way of doing things, spreadsheets, what they called shadow IT, inconsistent data, that was done. The new mandate demanded a completely different model: centralized databases, properly governed systems, and this new intense focus on accuracy and data integrity. And you've got to understand, this was so much more than just a new compliance rule. This was the opening shot of a full-blown database revolution. The path forward was pretty clear, and it really boiled down to three fundamental steps. First, you had to ban spreadsheets for any critical risk reporting. Get them out of there. Second, you had to build what became known as golden sources. And third, centralize all that scattered risk data into one place. Which brings us to this really crucial idea of a golden source. Think of it like this. It's a single, centralized, super heavily controlled database that is officially designated as the one and only authoritative source for critical data. No more debates. This is the truth. And what started as a technical requirement quickly turned into a cultural one. It created this industry-wide obsession with finding and building a single source of truth. Suddenly, that phrase was a compliance mantra you'd hear in every single boardroom. Someone described this perfectly as a database revolution disguised as compliance, because that's exactly what it was. BCBS 239 wasn't just asking for better reports. It was, in effect, forcing the entire global banking industry to adopt a modern data architecture, whether they were ready for it or not. And all this exposed a really fundamental truth that goes way beyond just banking. To follow the rules, you first have to build the right system. Your data architecture basically determines if compliance is even possible. In a very real way, architecture is regulation. But the story didn't end there. As you know, solving one massive problem, like the whole spreadsheet menace, often just reveals the next, even harder problem that was waiting just underneath. So creating a single source of truth was a massive step forward, for sure. But it immediately led to a new, much more complicated question from the regulators. They started asking, okay, having the right number is great, but how can you prove to us that it's the right number? And that one question gave birth to the next great obsession: data lineage. All of a sudden, it wasn't enough to just have the correct answer in your golden source. You had to be able to prove, with a clear, auditable trail, the entire journey of that data, from the moment it was created all the way to the final report. And this shift from just having the truth to having to prove its history is a challenge that companies are still wrestling with today, all because of a single banking rule that set out to kill the spreadsheet.